Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the frontline changes report. There's a few frontline change over the past 24 hours. The first one is over at the Zaporizhzhia front. Over here, this is Zaporizhzhia city, and this is the Zaporizhzhia front. Over at the Orikhiv sector at Verbove region, there is a geolocation of Russian forces attacking Ukrainian positions around this area here, and this basically invalidated the Ukrainian claims. As you can see from this border region, the Ukrainians claim the mapping is like this. This is where the Ukrainian forces are, and this differences is now invalidated, and of course we are not going to jump to conclusion that the entire Russian claims are correct, which is this line. So we're going to take the most sensible one, which is all this forest line around here is now under, and the road here under Russian control, as well as this tree line over here. So the front line changed. Now it looks like this, which actually shows that there's some impossibility as well. If you actually zoom out a bit, which means that the Ukrainian claims is now going to look like this, which we probably would know that this is a high hill, but this is not a high hill. This is actually an encirclement over here as well as over here, which means that these two area here is unlikely to be under Ukrainian control as well. But we definitely not going to just commit to it just yet. But we will wait for this high hill to break itself, and most likely we will see a correction from the Ukrainian mapping based on this latest geolocation. But anyway, this is the frontline change over at the Verbove region at the Orikhiv sector of the Zaporizhzhia front. We move on to the Novomykhailivka region over at the Donetsk front. So this is Donetsk city, and this is the Donetsk front. Over at the Novomykhailivka region, there is a video footage, a pretty interesting one, of Russian forces attacking the western part of Novomykhailivka, and it's some very interesting video footage. It does show the new way of Russian attack, which they have been using in the Avdiivka front, where the armored vehicles would drop off troops while it was moving, and then the armored fields will just push through to attack the Ukrainian position. As you can see over here, the infantries are dropping off while the armored fields continue to move, and the tank leading the charge will fire. The APC is hit, but the forces continues with the Russian tank continue to fire, and this actually confirms the Russian advancement in this direction. So if you are following the war through DPA reporting, you probably already hear me say, at least yesterday, that the Russian forces is likely to be pushing in this direction in the west to basically do an operational encirclement of the Ukrainian forces, forcing them to have to withdraw to Bilohorivka. And it looks like we are actually indeed looking at this scenario. So the Russian forces have already reached the center of Novomykhailivka, and they are putting pressure from the east and the south. And now we are seeing this advance coming from the southwest. So the Ukrainian forces is now going to be in deep problems, because the Russian forces are also putting pressure or holding lines in the north, and this area here is really difficult to traverse, to move around for the Ukrainian forces. Definitely you're not going to do a withdrawal towards the Russian lines and then they'll go one big round over to Bilohorivka. So what the Ukrainians will have to do is actually to plug this hole right now, and if they are unable to do so, then Novomykhailivka may be lost as we move forward. So this push is very significant. There is definitely no indication of the Russians penetrating into the settlement just yet. This is purely based on the geolocation of this attack force. We will definitely continue to wait and see for more information, but just to take note, from this point of the geolocation to this shoreline of this fishing pond is merely a few streets. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 streets. So it's not very far. In term of distance, we are looking at 600 meters to 700 meters. So this is a very, very short distance. if the Ukrainians do not have enough anti-tank anti-tank weaponry, the Russian forces can put the armored fist here, holding a line, and the second armored fist can push through and punch all the way to the shore, and then the infantry can then spread out and take out the entire western part of Novomykhailivka. But of course, this is easy to say, difficult to execute. So this is the frontline change over at Novomykhailivka. There's one last frontline change is over at Bilohorivka, over in the Luhansk region. So this is a Siversk city. This is several Donetsk and Lysychansk and this Crimea. And over at the Siversk front, the Bilohorivka in the Luhansk region, the Russian forces has been geolocated in a similar fashion as per the one over at Novomykhailivka. The Russian forces is geolocated in an attack in the direction of Bilohorivka. And this similarly created the same problem, the same situation at Verbove. Because of the geolocation, the Russian forces seems to definitely have taken all these grounds, given the way how the geography goes. So which means that the Russian forces are making this attempt, pushing in this direction, and all this area here is now under Russian control, most likely without a doubt. So the situation here is very difficult. As you can see, this looks like the moon with all these artillery shells hitting. You can see this is updated mapping from the Google Maps. Somehow they decided to update the mapping over here, so you can see the stars. It looks like stars to me. So this is where the Russians are pushing. We will continue to see how this progress. The Russian forces are heavily bombarding Bilohorivka most of the time, so it's going to be a very difficult hold for the Ukrainians. So anyway, this is the Frontline Changes report. Thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe to support DPA, and I'll see you guys in the next update.